So in the faith community, and before you say amen, listen to what I'm gonna say, y'all. Or before you say listen to what I'm gonna say. There is a notion in the faith community that people have been saying for the last half decade, probably a whole decade. But they've been saying everybody can't go where you're going. You're going to have to lose some friends. You're going to have to leave some people behind. So I have two thoughts concerning that. One is leaving people behind does not mean that you have to cut people off or that they can't be around you anymore. Sometimes what happens as your energy expands and elevates, it's difficult for them to be around you. Like they don't feel comfortable anymore. And a lot of times you don't have to cut people off. When your energy grows and expands, they automatically are detached, or you automatically are detached. And it just doesn't feel comfortable anymore for you to be together. It's almost like how the eagle ascends to certain levels. And there's a story about how the pigeon will jump on the eagle's back. And as the eagle ascends, the eagle pays no attention to the pigeon because he knows when he gets to a certain altitude, the darn pigeon can't breathe, so he falls off. Well, such is the same that happens with the people who you are around. As your energy and your vibrations expands and grows, it literally is uncomfortable for them to be around you and for you to be around them. And one of the ways, if you look at physical stuff and natural stuff around you, you'll see things, you'll know that your energy is growing and expanding because different things will happen. Like for me, when I became rooted and grounded in the power of my power, and my energy just was growing and expanding, y'all, I got beautiful timepieces. You can't see that, but that's a beautiful diamond watch. Do you hear me? It don't work. Don't none of my diamond watches work. Do you know why? Because my energy is so blue that every time I put a new battery in it, it blows it out. If you are expanding in your energy and vibration, you'll see stuff start happening around your house. Y'all, I'm not making this stuff up, like for real. You'll see stuff happening around your house. You'll see my daddy's energy was such one time that the darn squirrels would come up to him and eat out of his hand. Like, who you know a squirrel come eat out of their hand? A squirrel. His energy, his vibration was so magnificent that the squirrels used to come eat out of his hand. So once you make the decision that you're going to tap in your power of death and life in the tongue, you're going to tap into your power to obtain wealth, you're going to tap into your power to tread on serpents and scorpions. Do you get all the powers that we are given? When you start tapping into them, the people around you will begin to shift anyway. Now, here's what. My dad is rolling up on 75, and he can go, I'm going to give you the good version. He can go from 0 to 10 in 10 seconds or less. And I believe that when people get to a certain age, they can say whatever they want to say. They have earned the right. He is one of them. Having said that, I can't consume that energy. I've got to be in the right head space and the right heart space. But I can't like not stop talking to my daddy, right? I can't like just say, you know what? But there are times when he's on level 10 and I'm like, Dad, I'm gonna call you back, or you're gonna have to bring it down 2 levels, and then there are times I just put the phone on speaker, sit it down and let him do what he do. But that's when you have to know your own mindset. That's when you have to know your own heart space and your own head space. So being around people who are combative, being around people who are negative and derogatory, sometimes you just got to nip it in the bud and say, I'm not having that conversation. Sometimes you got to let them know, that's contrary to what I believe, and or what you're saying is no use to me, you, and anybody else. Let's talk about something different. Sometimes you've got to politely and professionally deal with it head on, but you do so in a manner that's peace and love and joy. For example, my sister called me one day last week and she was telling me something about my niece and my nephew. I'm like, okay, and they grown. My oldest nephew is 30. My niece just turned 22. And I mean, so what? I said, listen, you got 5 minutes to talk about this here, and then we're not talking about it no more because you don't care, I don't care, and we're not going to do anything to be able to change it. So sometimes you give people the space to vent, whether it's 5 minutes or whether it's 30 minutes. Sometimes I tell people you got 3 days. You got 3 days to complain, moan, and gripe. And then at the end of day number 3, I need to know on day number 4 what you're going to do to make a difference. So I think protecting your energy means, and that's what it is. Protecting your energy means you understand where your current headspace and heart space is. You know who you're coming into the same room with. You know when, and the room can be on the phone, or it can be in person, or it can be on Zoom. But you know who you're coming into the same room with, and you make a conscious decision that today you can, or today you're not going to deal with it. Now, there are times, and I'm going to wrap it up, but there are times when you know without question you just need to withdraw from people. But there's no need to make a grand announcement, right? There's no need to do like how you see some people on social media say, I'm getting ready to leave off social media for the next 20 days because it's too negative. There's no need to do that. You right, you know good and well they on social media and they just ain't saying nothing on your post no more. But there's no need to make grand announcements. If you know this person disturbs your energy, then we move away or we tailor how we deal with them. If you know this person is like my dad and there's no way in the world you can cut them from your life, you just become more conscious and you become more aware. But the last thing I'll say is you teach people how to treat you and you teach people how to communicate with you. People know what they can and what they can't say in front of me. People know what they can and what they can't discuss in front of me. And if by chance there's something they do need to discuss, they'll ask first. They'll say, Mercedes, now I know you don't usually watch this kind of stuff on TV. Or now, Mercedes, I know you don't usually have conversations about, but do you mind if? But before you can set those boundaries for other people, you've got to identify them for yourself so that it becomes easier and easier for you to create that environment of peace and love and joy.